Hi, my name is Jessica Culver, and this is my persuasive speech, and this is my audience. Hi, today I'd like to talk to you all about why our students in elementary school need recess. Do you remember when you were in school and could not wait for recess to come? I'd like you all to close your eyes and imagine that you're in a class and waiting for the clock to hit the magical number when you are able to go outside and swing, play on the jungle gym, or even play football with your friends. Knowing you're about to relieve some pent-up energy by running into the warm spring breeze. Now open your eyes and see what is happening today in the world, in our schools today. Back in 1990, elementary students were able to go outside and play at recess. If you're in school at this time, do you remember how much fun you had at recess? Children today do not get the pleasure of having recess anymore after the second grade. Most kids after second grade only get PE 3 times a week. They go straight from lunch to a PE class, to the library, or to a music class, and then straight back to their normal class to learn some more. They don't get the pleasure of going outside to the sunshine or having fresh air into their lungs. At work, do you get a break at all? Most people do. The United States Department of Labor says that in Colorado that for every 8 hours that you work, you're required to have 2 15-minute breaks and 1 30-minute break. If you're required to take these breaks, then why can't our children have these breaks too while they're in school for 8 hours a day? Today, I'd like to persuade you why children need recess in elementary school. First, let's look at why children need recess, then the benefits of having recess, and finally, could our children going to recess, could it reduce them from having ADD and ADHD medicine? Let's look at why children need recess. Recess is a vital part of our children's learning. It unites the mind, body, and spirit. At least that's what the American Association for Children's Rights to Play says. Recess meets our children's social and emotional needs. It also helps children play with friends and gives them a reason to go to school. It also lowers their anxiety and lowers their stress. It also allows children to learn other cultures in a non-threatening way. It also gives the children a break and lets their minds relax and regroup. Let's look at why it allows our children's brains to grow. It allows them to quit being so fidgety during school. Anybody who knows who deals with little children, they're always fidgety, no matter what they do. They're fidgety. What do we do to relieve that? We send them out to go play. So when children are in school, it's hard for them to sit there and without being fidgety. 2, it also exercises their senses. It lets them go play out in the outside where there's fresh cut grass, where they can hear different sounds, and also touch and feel different things that's up in the playgrounds. It also nourishes the brain. If anybody who's been in school notices that their brain gets tired after so long of learning and trying to understand what's going on, well, you have a sluggish brain. Let's see what we can do to help that. It also helps them with their physical needs. It also lowers their blood pressure and their high cholesterol. With everything that we eat today, our blood pressure and our cholesterol is very high. So having our kids go outside and play lowers it down for them, and hopefully it will make them not have so many medical issues in the future. It opens up their senses, like I said before. And it helps them cooperate with others in school. Let's look at the benefits of having recess. First, it helps the teachers and the students to regroup. It allows them to get back into the learning state of mind instead of being so tired and sluggish and anxious and fidgety. Their brains are sluggish, so if we let our children go outside to play, it makes them run and jump. It builds up their blood pressure, which also allows them to breathe harder, which puts the oxygen into their body, which makes their brain actually function better. It also gives their brain a time to relax. Like I said earlier, when you're getting crammed with a whole bunch of information, if you're sitting there learning, are you really absorbing it without a break? Probably not. You're probably going to forget it, and then our kids' grades are going to go down. It also says that children are supposed to have 60 minutes of exercise a day. Dr. William Dias, the Director of Nutritional and Physical Activities for the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, says that children need at least 60 minutes a day of exercise just to help them stay with good health. The benefits for a teacher. Lets the teacher prepare. When students are out for recess, it helps the teacher prepare for their next lesson. So the teacher's not going from one subject to another subject to another subject, forgetting some things in between. It also lets the teacher get a breather. If anybody's been around children long enough, you kind of get frustrated with children, especially when they're not working with you and they're not doing what you want them to do. Recess will allow the teacher to take a breather and regroup herself or himself so he can actually teach the students in a better mind setting. It also allows the teacher to view the students in their natural habitat of playing. It lets them find out if something's going on with one child and not with another. It helps them see if a child is working well with others, or if they are kind of behind or don't want to deal with other people, or if something's going on in school. Kind of helps them monitor what's going on. Now let's talk about attention deficit disorder. Most everybody knows that attention deficit disorder is on the rise. So is attention deficit hyper disorder, ADD and ADHD. ADD and ADHD has been on the rise since 2003. There was a survey taken from children that are from 4 to 17 years old. In 2011, it was at 11%. Most of us say it's not a big deal. 11% for the whole United States? That's not that much. Well, it is when it comes down to being 6.4 million for our nation. In 2003, ADHD was only at 7.8%. In 2007, it ends up being at 9.5%. And of course, at 2011, 11%. Now, just by looking at the numbers, you can tell that it's in the rise. Now, when our students don't have recess, when they're sitting at school and they're fidgeting, not paying attention, not being able to get rid of any of their energy, the first thing that teachers say is, go take them to the doctor, they have ADHD. Go put them on medicine so I can teach my class. I don't want to deal with them, so put them on medicine. Well, unfortunately, when we put that with our kids, it does not do very well. It makes them into zombies, and they don't really function. They just sit there and they don't care. And yeah, they're not disturbing the class, but it is hurting the class and hurting them at the same time. There was a study done a long time ago that showed that most kids that were put on Ritalin, when they became adults, actually became drug users. So why would we put our children on drugs? To make them drug users later on in life. My son was told, my son Andrew, who is 10 years old now, was told that he needed to put on ADHD medicine because he could not focus in class. Well, when I went in for our meeting, I flat out looked at the teacher and told her I would refuse to put my kid on this medicine because I did not want him to be a zombie. 2, if they cannot help him in school, then I need to probably pull him out of school. We came up with a couple solutions. Of course, with the help of the internet, looking online. One of the things is with the ADHD kids is if you give them Mountain Dew, it actually calms them down. So does coffee. You think really Mountain Dew normally hypes you up. With ADHD children, it actually lowers them down and calms them down. So does coffee. Well, give or take, my son didn't take it, and he's doing a lot better now in school. There was a study done about 3 boys who were actually diagnosed with ADD and ADHD. When they found out that the kids who actually went out for recess, they found out that when they came back into the classroom, they were less fidgety, less disruptive, and they actually paid attention. The days that they did not send them out to recess, they found out that they were very fidgety and they interrupted the class all day long. So even from a study of just 3 kids that do have ADHD medicine, my philosophy is send them out for recess. Let them burn off the energy. As we go into the final thing, I want to emphasize on you why our kids need recess. 1, it helps our kids get better grades. It lets them function a lot better. 2, it unites their minds, body, and their spirit. Which, of course, if we don't have a kid that's happy, normally everybody else is suffering too. It meets our child's social and emotional needs. It helps them go outside, meet new friends, and it helps them communicate with others instead of being at home on the games or playing on the internet or just being a couch potato. It helps develop their brains. It also gives them a break from everything that's been crammed into their heads. If we cram so much information into them, they're not going to learn. The only thing they're going to do is block it out and start disrupting class. So if we give them a break, they can actually function and function properly in school. It also helps the teachers relax and not be able to get so mad and irritable with them where kids are coming home in bad colors or getting phone calls from the teacher or the kids just getting in trouble in general. With this no tolerance policy at schools, kids have to get rid of their energy some way. And sometimes it's just in class because they don't have anywhere else to get rid of it. It also helps our students get the recommended 60 minutes a day of exercise. So, with everything that you've heard today, I hope I persuaded you all to look into our kids' schools and find out if our kids are actually getting recess or not. I know for a fact that my son is not getting recess, and I think it is wrong. I have gone to his teacher and told him if we do not start doing something where he can actually express out some of this stuff, then how do they expect him to actually behave in school? Thank you so much for listening today, and have a wonderful day.
You did good, Nancy.